How you doing? I think it's starting. It says live video starting, but we'll give it just a second here to make sure because it's still spinning. So I could just be talking to myself or I could be talking to all of you. And we're still watching it spin, which is a good excuse to get a cup of coffee here. Well, we might just assume it worked because I do see live, even though it says live video starting. So it's kind of a 50-50 here. Anyway, why don't we see, now it says I'm live. There we go. I think we're live. Good morning, accelerators. Let's kick this thing off. Only a couple questions today, so we're not going to be too long. And with that, why don't we get right into it? So, first question is from Lena. Hope I'm saying that right. Lena says, should I be sending caviar as a marketing strategy to big names that reach out to me inquiring about caviar? I think you should send me caviar. Let's start with that. First of all, the background is we specialize in black caviar and other exclusive items. Recently, A.J. Dillon, running back for the Green Bay Packers, reached out to us about caviar, but did not go through the ordering. I was wondering if it would be a good idea to send him some caviar as a gift in hopes to earn his trust and gain that relationship with him. Similar to how nowadays brands will send influencers and celebrity PR packages in exchange for Instagram posts, TikTok videos, etc. Please advise. Thanks. I think this could be an awesome marketing strategy, and you have very little costs associated with it. I mean, you have the product cost itself, but beyond that, you're not, you don't have all this additional advertising or whatever else. I wouldn't necessarily hold my breath and say, "Gosh, he's going to love it so much, he's going to put out there. Thank you so much for sending it on his all over his social media and a link to you, and you're going to get 10,000 orders tomorrow." But in a way to get brand recognition and gain customers, obviously he was interested before. If he likes your product, he might buy more, might tell more, and might share that in some capacity. I guess the question I want to ask next, though, is who else is next? Who else should you try to target with this type of strategy? And what are your other strategies for marketing and getting new customers in the first place? How did he find out about you? Look for ways to, continue that type of marketing effort, which was working and how he found out about you in the first place. And then you didn't really say this, but I guess I'm questioning, are you the retail side of things? This is an online website only. Are you in the wholesale side of things? Certainly different type of customers can warrant more aggressive marketing strategies based on the overall value of that customer. So, where you don't want to send every person on the planet free caviar hoping they'll buy more. If there was a larger customer that, might be looking to send it, let's say, from a corporate gift perspective, and they're going to order 10,000 items one time, and that's a good target for you, then try to send a free marketing strategies, free gifts, trials, samples, whatever, to the person that would be buying those. The flip side of that is if you're trying to go down more like the wholesale strategy, then who would be the buyers at the retail side to get those on their websites or in their stores? And how do you reach out to those people the same type of way? And I think, whether you want to call them free trials or samples or that is a fantastic way to try to grow that type of business down that path, especially in some type of food item. And I can post my address after this if you want to send some to me. Next question, Randy. Randy says, do you recommend postcard mailings as part of your ad campaigns? He says, I own a bowling center and do email, Facebook, and in-house advertising. Not every household uses social media, and I would like to promote specials, coupons, and the website and build my email list. Would you recommend using every door direct mail and target certain routes and neighborhoods? Yes. Let me just start with the crazy adage that I still say all the time, and that's this crazy concept that 50% of all advertising works. The question is what 50%? So that's why I, as you know, am a big believer in internet marketing because we can track clicks to conversions to if they called and how that all works. You can do that in direct mail as well, especially when you're talking about something like a bowling center. So if you do direct mail, try it, and measure by using like a coupon. So somebody walks in and it's buy one, get one free bowling, coupon must be present, right? So then have your staff collect those coupons and see how many of those actually returned, into customers and got them in your center. And if it works, keep doing it. If you find it didn't, well, then in your business, you're going to find it doesn't. Try something else new. I mean, I think that's one of my early mentors way back when in the small business marketing thing. He said any salesperson walked in trying to sell a marketing thing. He gave them some type of reasonable budget to try it once, and he told them what the outcome, what he was looking for. He was looking for a cost per customer of, in his case, it was $75. But and he said, I'm going to measure to that standard. If it works, I'm going to keep using you and keep doing this with you. And if it doesn't, well, thanks for coming in. We tried. Best of luck to you, right? Because even the sales guy trying to sell that direct marketing or direct email or Valpak or internet marketing, whatever it is, wants that long-term relationship. He's hoping it works. They want it to work. They believe it's going to work for you. They wouldn't have knocked on your door. It just may not be the right application. But if you can measure that and figure out what you want your cost per sale to be, or even cost per lead to be, and it stays within that and it's profitable for you, then keep doing it. When it stops becoming profitable for you, stop. And certainly, you probably know enough about your demographics today that figure out your routes and neighborhoods for this direct mail based on where you think your demographic is most likely to be. Hope that helps. So, okay, next one's from Kristen. Kristen asks, what is the fastest, easiest thing I could do to grow my business from the stage I'm in today? Says, I operate an online nutrition coaching business for strength athletes. I'm currently doing $120,000 in annual revenue, and I have 4 coaches and 1 administrative assistant on my team. My current way of driving new business revenue is through positioning myself as an authority in my niche via my podcast and social media. In 2023, I'd like to grow my business by at least 50%. To accomplish that, what are some immediate things you would recommend I do in order to reach that goal? So obviously, I only have this much background that you gave me, so I'm going to be shooting out there a little bit. But the way I look at it is you have 5 people on your team. 4 of them are already coaches, and I'm assuming the coaches help build those relationships and help you sell. I would focus on a strategy that 4X what you're doing today, meaning develop your coaches into sales and prospecting tools. So whether that's them building better relationships online and getting more followers themselves, you still have a 4X multiplier there, or it's using them to reach out to customers or whatever else it is to generate more sales. But there's 1 you and 4 of them, and if you can multiply their efforts, then find that strategy that helps them be more successful for you. Continuing your presence on social media, obviously that works, but thinking that's ultimately going to catapult to 50% growth year over year versus try to capitalize on the assets you've already built, I would focus down that path for your immediate thing, but certainly keep doing what's working as well. And lastly, we have another Kristen. And Kristen asks a similar type of question in a different type of world and says, what is the fastest, easiest thing I can do to grow my business from the stage I'm in today? She says, I'm a wholesaler in the retail industry selling golf apparel. I'm in my first year of business launching this month. I'm currently at $16,000 in gross sales. My biggest holdback in driving new business is my lack of cash flow to purchase product to sell. I'm currently using credit cards. My total credit limit is around $10,000. Next year, I would like to grow my business to at least $100,000 to $500,000 in gross sales. I would really like to go after bigger retail fish, such as department stores, but I'm not sure how to secure a large order without the cash to back it up. I am limiting myself to credit limit. What are some immediate things you would recommend in order to reach my goals? So typically people ask me marketing questions, not finance questions, but I'm going to put it out there. There's a couple of things you can do. One would be get terms from your suppliers. So you want to place a $100,000 order and you don't have that, look for 30, 60, 90-day terms from your suppliers. You're also, there are certainly people that will loan money based on receivables or contracts. So if you get that contract for that $500,000 order, you can go to these financiers and say, look, I have this contract. I need to be able to buy these items. And in order to do that, I need to borrow money leveraged against that future asset of that contract. And there are a lot of people that are willing to loan far better than on credit cards or credit card terms based on that. So you can go down that path. Now, both of those obviously put a lot of risk in your pocket if you don't get paid, which would, I guess, bring up the caveat I wanted to have about being careful about offering terms. Because many buyers, especially in the retail space, want to get 30, 60, 90, 120-day terms. So they don't have to pay for the products that are sitting in their store for a period of time, which is really difficult on a small provider like yourself, but even large ones. I mean, large businesses can go under just by offering those terms, because at some point you only have so much money coming in and you're expected to be paid. And what if that polo that you sold them, you $10,000 worth, and you think it's a great product, they think it's a great product, but they order it and they don't put it out front. It goes to a back wall of their store and they don't actually end up selling. So now they come back to you and say, well, the product didn't sell, so I can't pay you right now. You're like, well, I have a contract. They're like, well, we'll pay you eventually once they sell or whatever else, but we can't live up to your terms. And now you're dead, right? You don't have any money coming in. You had to pay for that term. So be very, very careful about the terms you give in this wholesale retail environment. On the flip side of that, if you can look for ways to get deposits up front in these orders or some type of pay up front discount, right? So I'll give you 5% off if you pay that $100,000 up front, then that solves your problem as well. And a lot of buyers, depending on their cash flow situation, are willing to take that discount, which would be cheaper than you actually going to borrow money and a heck of a lot less risky because you're going to get the cash up front. So you know the order is good if you can get them to pay up front. So hopefully that helps. And I'm sure that that Sean's got other mentors that probably know a lot more about the finance aspects of these things that he probably is going to push this question to as well. But at least that's my 2 cents on the high level of financing some of these things. And that was it, guys. We had 4 good questions, a lot of fun. And I will talk to you guys next month.